少し違うみたい。まるで手紙。それも謝罪文。一体誰に謝ってるの？あなたは何者なの？ジョイボーイ。
Finding the man with the burn scar is what people like Blackbeard want to do. The man with the burn scar is a true owner of the Final Road Poneglyph, the person who traveled to Fishman Island and claimed this legendary rock. But what if I told you that the burn scar man is not a man? What if I told you the correct phrase was burn scar men? Yes, that's right. There's multiple people that own the Final Road Poneglyph, and that's because the Final Road Poneglyph will be in the hands of the Revolutionary Army. When Kid says that the man with the Final Poneglyph has a burn scar, it's referencing the scar on Sabo's face. When Lafitte says the burn scar man has a jet black ship, it's referencing Karasu's black crows that morph their body. And when Shiryu speculates that the man works with the world government, it's referencing how Kuma used to be a warlord. And the rest of the evidences behind this theory is going to blow your mind. But make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to never miss the sickest One Piece theory videos on all of YouTube. As I stated before, the man with the burn scar is said to have the Final Road Poneglyph. This means the man with the burn scar is a prolific character, and this character is going to have a very valuable role in the story. Whoever this character is will almost have a say in who the next Pirate King is, and that's obviously because you need the 4 road poneglyphs in order to get to Laugh Tale. You have a character like Luffy who has 3 road poneglyphs, and then you have other factions and crews that are kind of unclear at the moment. But either way, multiple people are chasing after the man with the burn scar, and this has fans scrambling. Who is the man with the burn scar? Is it Scopper? Is it Loki? Mihawk? Sunbelt? Fisher Tiger? The list goes on and on. All of the guesses behind the man with the burn scar are insane. But regardless of who you think the man with the burn scar is, there are a few rules that we have to take into account. And this is because Oda has been slowly feeding us breadcrumbs when it comes to the man with the burn scar. So today I've compiled a list of all the details we know regarding the man with the burn scar. The clues about the man with the burn scar are the following. They have the last road poneglyph, they have some form of a burn scar on them, they have a jet black ship, they can make whirlpools, they may have a devil fruit, they may have worked with the world government, Law might know them, and Robin might know them. With all of that out of the way, we're gonna insert an answer and see if it fits. We'll compare our answer with every single detail to see what this looks like for the story. You ready? Our answer for the man with the burn scar is the Revolutionary Army. Or in other words, it's not one singular man. Allow me to explain. When reviewing all the details regarding the man with the burn scar, one thing becomes very clear. This is a very diverse man or character. Like, this man can create whirlpools, sail in a black ship, be affiliated with the world government, and 25 other clues. The reason why Oda is depicting this character in such a diverse way is because it's not one character, it's a group of people. And that group of people is the Revolutionary Army. I believe every time that Oda gave us a clue about the man with the burn scar, it actually applied to one of the Revolutionary Army commanders. For an example, Kid says that the man with the Final Road Poneglyph has a burn scar. When we're looking at Sabo, it's very clear that he has a burn scar on his face from when he was shot by a MW2 RPG. If Sabo was ever spotted near or around the Final Road Poneglyph, it would explain why there's rumors of a burn scar man. We also know that Lafitte says the man with the burn scar sails a jet black ship. I believe this relates to how Karasu of the Revolutionary Army can create jet black crows that can actually morph their body. And there's one scene in the One Piece anime that even has a crow talking from 2 different heads. If a character was seen sailing near or around the Final Road Poneglyph and they were on one of Karasu's crows, I could see why it could be mistaken for a jet black ship. We also know that Lafitte says the man with the burn scar can create whirlpools. I think this would relate to the leader of the Revs, Dragon, because he can make wind blasts out of anywhere. And we know strong wind blasts can actually affect currents, in return creating whirlpools in the ocean. So Dragon being near the Final Road Poneglyph, shooting wind blasts causing whirlpools would fit the bill. Shiryu also speculates that the man with the Final Road Poneglyph could be affiliated with the world government. Comparing this to the Revolutionary Army, we know that Kuma was once a warlord, and we know that warlords used to work with and for the world government at one point. With that being the case, it would explain why the man with the burn scar is accused of working with the world government, and that's because Kuma was a Rev commander while simultaneously being a warlord. The clue is about Kuma. Luffy also speculates that the man with the burn scar might also have a devil fruit. Comparing this to the Revolutionary Army, it fits amazingly. Karasu, Belo Betty, Morley, Sabo, and many others in the army have devil fruits, and we've seen them on screen. If any of them were near the Final Road Poneglyph, it would explain why Lafitte speculated that to be the case. Or maybe it's even Dragon's devil fruit, because there's another way of looking at this. When Lafitte says that they may have had a devil fruit, it could be in reference to the whirlpools. And as explained earlier, wind gusts can create whirlpools. So maybe Dragon has some kind of mythical Quetzalcoatl devil fruit that gives gives him that ability. It also might be a clue that Robin knows this character. I think the fact that Robin had a question mark should actually be questioned, no pun intended. Many would mark this off as a random panel, but it could be deeper than that. Robin could be confused here, wondering how Kid knows about the man with the burn scar, or she can even be confused as to how information about the final road poneglyph got leaked. Since she spent 2 years with the Revs during the time skip, she probably has a lot of information and secrets, and I wouldn't be surprised if Dragon, knowing Robin is Luffy's crewmate, told Robin all types of secrets about the world, and one of those secrets could be the fact that they have the final road poneglyph, which would lead into why she was confused during Wano. Again, she might be confused as to how information about the road poneglyph leaked. And onto the final clue, Law might know this character. Law's reaction when hearing about the man with the burn scar is kind of like Robin's, because he was very confused and he kind of gave an ominous vibe. Now this is going to be a huge curveball, but I think the clue is Karasu. This is a character who is actually a mute person, and it relates to how Corazon pretended to be mute. In Japanese mythology, a crow is the sun god's messenger, relating to how Corazon was Sengoku's messenger. We also know that Doflamingo is represented by a flamingo and Corazon is represented by a crow. Not only that, but there's a comic named Crow where the main character dies and comes back as crows. The cover of that comic is a main character and he looks just like Corazon. So basically there's a lot of connections between Karasu and Corazon, and I'm very interested to see if it goes anywhere. But this could be the reason why Law reacted that way. Maybe Karasu reminds him of Corazon. Now that we have all of the clues and the details out of the way, we have to discuss how the Revs would have the final road poneglyph in the first place. Well, we know that the poneglyph used to be at Fishman Island near Joy Boy's apology, but at some point after Roger became Pirate King, which was 25 years ago, it was moved. At an unrevealed time, Whitebeard actually visited Fishman Island and took the island under his protection. I think the most probable reason as to why the poneglyph is missing is because Whitebeard hid it. But I don't think it's that simple. I don't think that Whitebeard just moved it and kept it in his possession. Whitebeard didn't care about treasure or the One Piece or titles or anything like that. That wasn't Whitebeard's character. The character of Whitebeard stood on the value of family and what they matter to a man. So someone like Whitebeard with some of the world's most darkest secrets probably doesn't even value poneglyphs. Whitebeard actually strikes me as the type of character that would give away a road poneglyph if that meant keeping an island safe. And the biggest curveball as to who Whitebeard could have given it to is Dragon. Monkey D. Dragon, the man that Whitebeard gave the final road poneglyph to. Now let's actually assume it's Dragon in the Revolutionary Army. Let's just assume that they own the final road poneglyph. What does that actually mean for the story of One Piece? Well, first of all, I have videos like Law joining Cross Guild at the top of the screen. This is a possibility in the story because we know that Law used to be a warlord and Cross Guild is made up of ex-warlords. Not only that, but they're looking for a strategical planner, and I think Law is the best candidate. And the icing on the cake is that Winter Island is in the New World, just like Empty Bluffs Island. So the possibility of Law joining Cross Guild is very important. Now, why does that matter, you ask? Law joining Cross Guild would mean that Law would give them some of his poneglyphs, in return making Cross Guild and Law go after the man with the burn scar. Now, if that was the case, you would have several factions under the same kind of goal. Straw Hat Pirates, Blackbeard Pirates, Red Hair Pirates, and Cross Guild would all be going against the Revolutionary Army. And the reason for that is because the Revolutionary Army is the man with the burn scar, the people with the final road poneglyph. Now, I believe Dragon has had the road poneglyph for quite some time, and it was given to him by Whitebeard. Now, seeing how he visited Ohara with Vegapunk way back in the day and they saved some of the Ohara books, I believe that Dragon is therefore connected to Elbaf. He surely cares about the Void Sentry and Professor Clover, so of course he would look after Elbaf since it contains the remnants of Ohara. With that being said, I believe the Revolutionary Army is hiding the final road poneglyph on Elbaf. Now, there's actually something really mind-blowing regarding the poneglyphs we've already seen in One Piece, and it tells us where the final road poneglyph is located. If you think about the poneglyph we saw in Paradise at Alabasta, that was in a vault just like Big Mom's vault and the New World had a poneglyph. We also know in Paradise at Skypiea, really high in the sky, they have a poneglyph up there, relating to how Zoe really high in the sky has a poneglyph. We also know in Paradise at Fishman Island, they had a poneglyph underwater, similar to the road poneglyph at Wano. Now, the last poneglyph we saw regarding pre-time skip or Paradise was a poneglyph underneath the tree in Ohara. I believe the counterpart to this will be a road poneglyph underneath the tree of Elbaf. That's why Oda keeps showing us all these shots of Elbaf and all these angles of the tree. That's because Oda's gonna have Ohara and Elbaf parallel, and in order for that to be the case, there would have to be a road poneglyph underneath the tree. And that's because Dragon is the leader of the Revolutionary Army and he owns the final road poneglyph, and he decided to hide that in Elbaf. And maybe Dragon having the final road poneglyph plays into the most heinous criminal title. We do know that Dragon has one of the most unique titles in the entire series, World's Most Heinous Criminal. But what if Dragon has that title because of owning the final road poneglyph? What if he flexes it in a different way from Kaido and Big Mom? This would put Dragon in a much different light that would make him incomparable from most characters. And again, maybe the way he obtained this road poneglyph is the reason he has the title. Maybe Dragon had to kill a character in the story, or maybe he even had to have a big battle that has not yet been shown to us. And that large grand battle would result in Dragon having the final road poneglyph. This would explain why there's all these random clues about the man with the burn scar. It's actually leaning towards a group, not a single person. All of these characters around the story are seeing a group of people, and that's why they're getting all these random details. World government affiliation, burn scar, jet black ship, it's all based on the Revolutionary Army, the faction with the final road poneglyph.